Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to MTA episode 25 for the 26th of October 2018. And the topics today is more of a little tips and tricks episode, right? And let's jump right into it. It's engineering pets, right? It's a fiery blaze enchant. It's alchemy gold tips. And Noisebird leaked gameplay screenshots. Let's start with the letter, and right, let's start with that one because I don't really have much to say to it, but I wanted to cover it because, you know, apparently that's what people do nowadays. Okay, so you know, we had screenshots in our Discord of the login screen and people you know, in the character creation, and many people made videos about it already, so I'm not gonna bother looking at screenshots in a video form. But since you've already seen those videos, obviously that's awesome, and I just wanted to give my, because people have been asking on stream, just wanted to give my humble opinion on those. And my opinion on those is when I saw them before even any videos were out, basically, I was like, oh, okay, cool. I checked a little bit, and you could see the lighting was a little bit different, and a little bit more shades, I think, and the lighting, I think the textures were a bit better. One or two things, and I think we saw some vegetation increased, and that was basically it. It's cool, it's looking good, right? It's looking vanilla-ish. Well, some of the settings, like sound and background's cool for me, personally. People don't always have no sound anymore when I'm tabbing out. But aside from that, looks pretty good. Looks what I would have expected. Just a tiny little touch of modern feel to it. And what I saw though was the water. They upgraded the water, and I think that was that was like the one thing I hoped for. Please upgrade that water, because that water was looking terrible when this game came out, 2005 already. And Blizzard said this. They knew that, but they didn't want to waste resources or player or computer resources on that, so that players could play the game because of the water. So I'm really glad about the water. This really, I don't know why, but I like the atmosphere a lot, and I hope they improve a little bit more lighting, a little bit more shades. The water is awesome, and I hope they just improve a little bit of the textures. And that's it. And the water really made me happy, because I think that's I don't know, man. It just looks so much better with all the water in game when it's a little bit more realistic and cool. So that's my opinion on the screenshots of the leaked gameplay. And I think that's fair enough. Next topic. We've been debating, actually, because if you're an Alliance player, let's put it this way, if you're an Alliance player, there's a certain enchant you can get from a quest in the Badlands. That's called Fiery Blaze Enchant. And what this enchant does, let me look it up real quick. What this enchant does, it does fire damage to everything within 3 yards. Right. And since we've been playing a little bit here in the Prod Dream, we've been talking a little bit about this and that, what you can try out, what doesn't work and stuff. And this came to my mind again when the thing is, like, you do this quest, right? Fiery Blaze Enchantments, and what do you need? Black Drake's Heart to a guy in Badlands, and then you get this white item, a Fiery Blaze Enchantment, which you can then put on your weapon, yeah? And once you've done that, it's gone. So you got that one time, otherwise you level an alt to that level again to get it again, or you have some other player use it on your weapon in a trade window. That should work. So it says, it even gives the proc chance, so it's 15%. 15% proc chance on this one, and will inflict 9 to 14 fire damage to all enemies within 3 yards. But the question is, does this stack with spell power, and does it stack with the spell power stuff that you might be wearing, or does it not? And that's the question. I guess it doesn't, but I have a comment here, like Propelli here picked up while grinding whelps and finally applied it to the sort of the weapon. Goes well with fast attack weapons, and the mana proc from the mace is sweet. That's from the weapon he's talking about. Okay, so it goes well with a fast weapon. Obviously, the proc chance is 15%. The proc also has a chance to crit, so this is interesting, right? So if you are a tank, this might be an interesting enchant for you. Obviously, there's the usual enchants you can go and get. The question is, this does damage to everything within a 3-yard radius, and for a normal prot warrior, maybe it's not that big of a deal unless you have maybe a Thunder Fury, for example, that could go well together. What I will save this enchant for next time, or the next time I'm leveling, and just to try it out on the Thunder Fury, wherever we get it again. But you never know. Pray to the RNG gods, right? So let's focus on the prot paladin kind of utilization for this, or whatever you feel like your class. I thought of a prot paladin instantly, and so if this can crit, even I've had crits for like a little bit. This would be a very interesting enchant, and okay, he says the flaming sound is very enjoyable, but whatever. This is not the main factor for me. Oh, that was the mob already. Okay, perfect. See. Anyway, so got a 15% chance, 9 to 14 fire damage, and it can crit. The question is, can it stack with spell power stuff? Because if that were the case, it would be really good for a prot paladin. Because again, like to everything in a 3-yard radius, and as you know, prot paladins are the AOE tank, and so imagine this in like a raiding environment, or any environment where you are the AOE tank, and you just this stuff just keeps proccing and proccing, stacks with spell power and can crit everything around you. I think that would add up pretty. I'm definitely going to try it out once I have the quest here, and I will report back to you how this worked out. Or maybe it's utter garbage. It doesn't stack with anything and never procs. It could be. I'm going to let you know. But I just thought this one is a cool thing you can get. You keep it on your bank, and then you maybe want to put it on anything that has like a lot of procs. Think about an Iron Foe, maybe. An Iron Foe. Prot Paladin with an Iron Foe and this enchantment on it. God. God. Probably a lot of warriors are losing their mind right now. Like, you get out of here. Dislike. Okay, that was a Fiery Blaze. Now let's drop into another cool thing that I found, or actually Desna told me about it. As you might know, Desna is the one who has been, or was, or still is, I don't know, one of our mages. He will live the Moonkin dream on official classic servers, as he's tried enough to do it. He was actually, like, he always knows, the niche things. So he told me about these 2 engineering pets I never knew about. Okay, and so 1 or 2 of you probably know this, right? And probably say now, like, oh my god, old news. But I certainly didn't know about this. And there's 2 little pets you can get, and I believe it's Goblin engineers get Pet Bombling, and the Goblin and the Gnome engineers do get the Little Smoky. And what those are I'm gonna put them in here in the video, and you get them by apparently renewing your membership in being engineer, goblin engineer. Now I was an engineer and I never renewed my thing there. I don't know if that was just not in the on the server. You know, if you didn't have to renew it at all, because I never did, and I don't know, I didn't really notice anything unusual. So I never did really. I got a gift, I got a shitty recipe out of it, and I never saw this one anywhere on the server, I don't believe, in the last couple of years. So let me know if I just didn't see it, or if you had to renew it, or if it wasn't in game, or if it didn't work. I'll be very interested in that, because I don't know, I just thought that this was never in game. I just can't remember renewing it. Ooh, excuse me. It's been a Twitch grind. A little bit tired. Anyway, so you know, these are the recipes. You need only 205 to renew to learn this recipe, and I thought it's a cool pet. You know, pets are much rarer than in vanilla than they are in any other expansion. So having new pet opportunities is always fun, right? So the one thing is like a robot, and the other guy basically a walking bomb. So I thought that might be interesting for you guys. So renew your engineering membership, whether it's goblin or gnome, and you might receive one of those cool pets. And apparently the drop rate is 5%. We'll see. I have never seen this here, and maybe it just wasn't implemented, and it will be implemented later on the classic servers. We shall see how it will be, but those are the engineering pets. And I got another gold tip for you guys, and it is for alchemy. Like, if most people or a lot of people have alchemy nowadays, we just provide themselves with potions, and so they don't really have to rely on anybody else making them for them. And so one thing that I found out a little bit later, I used to. Okay, look, like the first thing you want to do if you're probably going to do if you're an alchemist, is you are going to keep your Arcanate bar transmute on cooldown, right? And that's a good solid thing to do, especially at the start of the server where everyone's still crafting like Ironheart helms and all that good stuff. And Arcanate bars are basically always in demand. That's true. But there's another cool recipe that you can get to make money, and it has a shorter cooldown. That's the whole catch of it, right? So the recipe I'm talking about is transmute undeath to water, right? And it can drop, I think, almost everywhere in the world, really. I think anything like 40, 50s in the 50s can drop this. It can also be in chests and stuff, and or you just go to the auction house and just buy it. Usually it's not that expensive. Right, but the thing is that you just take an Essence of Undeath, which is, if you combine this with my other gold tip of grinding out Stratholme, right, this can go very well together, and Undeath essences usually don't go for very much at all in the auction house. So you buy that Essence of Undeath for like 50 silver or 80 silver, if at all, and then you basically just transmute it into an Essence of Water, and you need those for example, Hide of the Wild or a lot of other stuff too. And those go for, you know, approximately 6, 7, 8 gold. Depends, you know, it really depends on how far a server is and what's going on at the moment on the server. And you can basically make like a 6, 7, 8 gold profit. And now the catch to this is that the cooldown for this is much lower. I believe this is a 24-hour cooldown, and the Arcanate bar cooldown is much longer, right? So you can make the profit more often. And usually the Arcanate bar profit is only about like 5 to 6, 7 gold. Can also be 8 gold, but the fact that you can do this more often is a really good alternative. So transmute Undeath to water is a good tip. You are making something different, or if you have another character, you know, laying around on a low level, you can give him that one, and your main will make the Arcanid bars, and your alt will make waters, right? And you can always keep all the essence of Undeath you get from you've gotten from Stratholme, right? And then you have something. You can make a lot of. You can make big bank out of this, and you can just keep it. Yeah, make some gold. So I hope that helped you. This was a little bit of a cool small things that I just gathered all these things, and I thought I would share with you. Let's kill all these skeletons here. Yeah, and that's the Fiery Blaze for you, that's the Engineering Pets for you, that's the Transmute Undeath to Water tip for you, and my opinion on the leaked screenshots. Right, if you enjoyed the video, then by all means, man, just leave a like or even a sub maybe, and put your comments or what you think about these things in the comments below. If you're just a lurker, that's fine too, and if you like, just stop by the Twitch channel once in a while. I'm streaming quite a bit and would love to see people there, and I'm always into mysterious shit, right? Tinfoil stuff and secret areas and hidden items and stuff that's not in the game anymore. I thank you very much for watching MTA number 25, and I'll see you in the next one. Take care.